Hey guys, it's Aga here and welcome to a new video. Today we're gonna make a pretty simple but hopefully a helpful video. Not really a FIFA Ultimate Team specifically, but I'm going to show you, in my opinion, the best possible team in FIFA 17. When I had to pick this team, I didn't want to pick any legends. I didn't want to pick any informs or anything like that. This one goes out to more like the casual gamers also, who maybe have like a FIFA night where you have to make a fantasy draft or something. So I built up this starting 11 and there's not chemistry or anything, but I'll just pick the 11 players that I think is the best on their position, and I choose some players who could eventually have been in the team because they are very close to be the best also and are very good on their respective position. It's also to give like a hint of which players you can eventually use in FIFA 17, and especially of course on seasons or in foot. It's only the basic cards. So let's jump right into it and let's take a look at which players I eventually think is the best in the game. So on the goal I picked Thibaut Courtois. To be honest, every time I play against him on the foot champs, I know I will have a hard time despite my opponent's level. Well, I rate how tall they are really high actually, because it just seems like he gets so many great saves and do the unexpected saves as well, and at the same time he's very stable and you don't see a lot of mistakes from Thibaut Courtois. So that is why he is my #1 goalkeeper on FIFA 17. The players I will say was pretty close to make it into the team. I'll take Manuel Neuer obviously, David De Gea, Hugo Lloris, and of course maybe a little surprise Butland. I didn't try him in seasons, but on FIFA Ultimate Team we all know that EA gave him some sort of drugs or steroids this year because he saved some absolute amazing shots. So these four were really close and I picked them like the second best keepers in my opinion Neuer, third best is David De Gea, and fourth is Hugo Lloris, and Butland is there as some kind of joker. So as the center backs we have Jerome Boateng and Sergio Ramos, the two absolute beasts as the center backs. And it's probably no surprise for any of you that I picked those two players. They are so strong in 1-versus-1 situations. They are very fast, both of them. And especially Boateng is actually very strong. Ramos is not that tall, but he will eventually win a lot of hitters. And he's actually very dangerous on the set pieces. But you know that from in real life as well. They are very good with the ball as well. So you can actually build up quite easy with these two guys. Three players I'll say was really close to get into it was Chris Smalling. We know him from Ultimate Team also, very solid, tall and very fast. We have Thiago Silva and Giorgio Chiellini. Giorgio Chiellini actually surprised me because I played a lot with him recently and he is maybe the strongest. When he first, pull in your opponent's shirt or get close to get that battle, he will eventually win it because he is a beast. He is so strong. But I will still say that if you are playing like, at least the way I'm playing with pretty high pressure, you need two center backs which is some of the fastest in the game, and they both are. So that is why I picked those two. So as the right back we have Serge Aurier, and this one was probably maybe the hardest one to choose because it's not like there is a lot of great right backs in FIFA 17 actually, but Serge Aurier is definitely a very complete right back. Maybe some will say that he's a little bit too slow comparing to, well, the bench or the top three just outside Serge Aurier. I have it's Kyle Walker, Bruno Perez and DeMarcus. Actually all three of them is faster than Serge Aurier, but what I really like about Serge Aurier is his strength and the way he runs. He does the job offensively, but at the same time he's very good at standing the right place as a right back, and that is why I rate him higher than the others. To be fair, there is a lot of right backs which has the similar level. So it's all about taste, I guess, with the right back position. On the left back we have Alexandro. Yeah, I said it before that I think he was the best fullback in the game. I'll still say that he is the best fullback. Also, if you took the right backs, I'll use him any day on the year. He's just incredible. I don't know what it is with his work rates or something, but he just seems to never be, you know, caught up being too offensive or anything, because we all know the struggle there has been for many of us, that even though you put the instructions on the fullbacks to stay back and etc, etc, they still manage somehow to be too offensive sometimes. But Alexandro is the guy I feel most comfortable and safe with. He is amazing, and you know, he is also quite tall, and he will actually eat any offensive player in my opinion. I always struggle against him, and I always feel safe with him on my team. Very close to him we obviously have David Alaba, and we have Filipe Luis and Levan Kurzawa. Many will not agree with Kurzawa and Filipe Luis as the closest competitors, but from my perspective, I really like, you know, fullbacks you can just rely on, who's not too offensive. They will be there when it's important, but they will most important be back when shit hits the fan, to be honest. You know, when your opponent is in a very suitable position and you need to have some fullbacks you can rely on, and I definitely rely on Filipe Luis and Levan Kurzawa. I think both of them is very solid, and that's the most important thing for me. I don't care if they make some great stuff offensive wise, because that's what I'm going to use my offensive players to. My 4-back line just need to defend and do the job there. 2 center mids, and this one was actually also one of the hardest ones to pick. Well, we obviously have Paul Pogba and we have Arturo Vidal, and both of them, well, you guys know them and you're probably not surprised, but there are so many great center mids, and all of them actually reminds a bit about each other if you ask me. But what makes, you know, especially Paul Pogba especially, is obviously that he is a bit taller and stronger than all of them. At the same time, he has 5-star skill moves, so he actually works both ways. And Arturo Vidal is just like the small engine, so that combination of those two are really good. And you know, very close. And the 3 center mids I could have used is Marcelo. Yes, I know he is left back in the game, but I prefer to play with him on the CM, where he is an absolute beast. And we have Nainggolan as well. You know how strong he is also in this game. Like he's a bit like Vidal, small but strong, fast, and has a great shot as well. You know, if you get a chance, he will score on it, and that's also important. And last but not least, many of you will be surprised about this, but I actually used Thomas Müller as the center mid, and I've been using him there for a lot of times, and I actually also been using him as a right back, etc, etc. Many of you will be surprised, but his work rate is high. He's tall, he has a good pace for, you know, a central mid, and he is so dangerous in front of the goal, you know that. A bit clumsy maybe, but you know, he will do the job, and I always took advantage of having him on my team because he can play so many different positions, and that makes him a lot more worth than many people think. So as the wingers, we have Neymar and Leo Messi, and this one was so close, and this is just a matter of taste, I guess, because all 5 wingers are similar to each other. We have Gareth Bale on the bench, Marco Reus and Eden Hazard, and well, the difference between Neymar, I'll say, and the others is that Neymar is a 5-star weak foot and 5-star in skill moves, and he also have this flair in his game, which is amazing. And you have Leo Messi, obviously. I would like to have a left-footed winger as well, and Leo Messi's left foot is probably the best in the game in a hard battle with Gareth Bale, but I'll say that Leo Messi's right foot is a lot better than Bale, and this is also why I put it Bale out on, you know, the almost there list, because he is too inconsistent, if you ask me. He can do something incredible, but he will also miss a lot of sitters, and especially if it's to his right foot, he will get a chance with. Marco Reus played a lot with him, great player, always enjoyed to play with him, but still hard to put him in the same category as Neymar and Messi. And we have Hazard, which I actually don't have played a lot with, but every time I face him on foot or in a game, he will cause me troubles. And as the two strikers, we have obviously Cristiano Ronaldo and Antoine Griezmann. Many people will wonder why I put it Suarez on the almost list here, but if it was Team of the Year Suarez, for sure he will be in the lineup. But this is, as I mentioned earlier in the video, a video just with the normal cards, and I really like Griezmann, and I also like to have a left-footed striker and a right-footed striker, and Griezmann always do the job. He just doesn't miss any chance, if you ask me, and he's just somehow always in the right position. So I really think it's a great combination with these two guys. We also have Zlatan and Dybala on the bench with Suarez, and they could all three be in the lineup. It's all about taste. Griezmann is just a bit more clinical and a bit more filthy in the battles with the defenders and make some better runs. So that is why I choose those two strikers. This team is absolutely beast, and maybe I missed out a few names who could have been there. Actually, drop a comment with the players you think I missed. It will be my pleasure to see if I actually made some mistakes or forgot some very nice players, because surely I did. This was just, the names which crossed my mind just whenever I thought of the best players on each position. So that is the overall team actually. And yeah, again, drop me a comment with your team and which players you think are the best ones on each position. And I'll be very curious to see, because maybe it can help improve my game also. And if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe if you already didn't subscribe to my channel. It would also be much appreciated, guys. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. More content to come very soon. Thanks for watching. The name is Rosenmeyer. Have a great Monday.